Hello and welcome, Golden Era here with your Golden Wrestling Convo. I'm going to cover Money in the Bank 2016 as fast as possible because I still have Game of Thrones to watch. So let's get through this ASAP, and I'll give you my ratings and what I thought about the show. I thought it was a pretty decent show. It was a pretty good show. Of course, it didn't have my full attention because I was also watching Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So if some of my ratings are off, or if this isn't to your standards of a normal Golden Wrestling Convo, then I apologize. But I was preoccupied with other things. Okay, so Golden Truth beat Breezango in 5 minutes. Breezango, which is the team of Tyler Breeze and Fandango, came out and they had like their full bodies like over tanned or whatever. They were like sunburnt, and like they were getting chopped that whole time. So I could only imagine that really stung like a motherfucker. Props to them. Like I said, and I've said 100 times over, Tyler Breeze is a star. I mean, it's a dud. You know what I mean? It doesn't deserve any stars. But I'm not going to give it negative stars because it wasn't fucking. It wasn't an atrocity. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that was like difficult to watch. I could still watch it. It was still somewhat entertaining, but it was a dud. It doesn't deserve any stars. It was just kind of there. The Lucha Dragons defeated the Dudley Boys in about 8 minutes. I thought it was really cool to see the Lucha Dragons interaction with the Dudley Boys, seeing as how the Dudleys are legends. Kalisto and Bubba had some pretty interesting interactions. I liked the match. I mean, it wasn't amazing or anything, but it was serviceable. I'd give it like a 2, maybe a 2.5. It was serviceable. You know what I mean? The New Day of Big E and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods defeated the club of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, and the Vaudevillains, which is the team of Aiden England and Simon Gotch. This one got 11 minutes. I want to give it like a 3, maybe. There was some miscommunication. There was a ton of miscommunications in this one. Actually, yeah, it doesn't even deserve a 3. It was like a 2.75. Again, I was watching the NBA as I was watching this one. And I want to say that it was great or whatever the hell, because a lot of people were calling it like the best tag team match they've ever seen and blah 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 blah. But I don't see that. I was having some issues with my screen there. Sorry about that. I don't see what I saw. And for those of you who think it was an amazing match, I beg of you to watch it a couple of times again, and really pay attention to what's going on, because there were so many fucking miscues. Like, there was a time where Luke Gallows was just standing there, like, for no fucking reason. He was just kind of standing there. And then there was all these botches. Like, I mean, I don't remember them all because it was a bad match. But I definitely remember that one because it was at the end of the match. Luke Gallows of the club was kind of just standing there. And I think that miscue was more of like Big E's fault. I'm not sure whose fault that was. It was probably Luke Gallows, though. No, you know whose fault that was? That was Big Cass. Big Cass was supposed to be in the ring a little bit earlier. He came in a little late, so Luke Gallows couldn't do anything but kind of stand there and try to get the audience to not stare at him. And then there was a miscue where I think somebody was pinning somebody, and Luke Gallows was supposed to go in and break up the count before it reached 3, but like he didn't reach it in time, and that miscue was kind of odd. And then there was a lot of moments where like Luke Gallows tripped the ropes on Aiden English. So Aiden English falls to the outside, right? And then for some reason, Enzo Amore, instead of standing there and fighting Luke Gallows, leaves the ring. So Luke Gallows has to stay in the ring and wait for Aiden English to come back in. Like, what the fuck? You just, like, a lot of this shit just didn't fucking make sense. There was a lot of miscues. I gotta give it like a 2.75 or lower, like maybe a 2.5. It wasn't a great match. I'm sorry, and I know everybody was like, "Oh, that was such a great match." I was reading on the thread that it was a great match, and it was shit. Honestly, it was shit. It looked like shit. It looked like everybody in that match wanted to get it over with as soon as possible and as fast as possible so they could go watch the NBA. And I don't blame them. Just that if I'm going to rate the match, if I'm going to review the show, then I have to say that match was shit. Because it was shit. There was a lot of miscues. It wasn't well choreographed. It wasn't well planned out. It was shit. That's just how I feel about it. My apologies if you don't agree with me. Obviously, it's just an opinion. Baron Corbin defeated Dolph Ziggler in 12 minutes. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching the NBA. Can't necessarily rate it. Charlotte and Dana Brooke defeated Natalya and Becky Lynch in 7 minutes. I wasn't paying attention. I can't necessarily rate it. However, after the match, Natalya did turn on Becky Lynch and started kicking her ass or whatever while crying. Whatever. That'll be Total Divas. That'll be on Total Divas, and yeah, whatever. Who cares? Apollo Crews defeated Sheamus in 8 minutes. Looked like a decent enough match. I wasn't really paying attention to it. Again, I was watching the NBA, but from what I saw, it looked alright. You know, it looked like maybe like a 2.75 or so. It wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. AJ Styles defeated John Cena in 24 minutes. It is a tough one to rate for me because the story of the match was how much better AJ is than John Cena, and the story of the match was that John Cena is getting older in age, and that he's a much older professional wrestler than he used to be, and he's past his prime. And you know, we're going to forget that AJ Styles is 1 year older than John Cena. We're going to forget that, and because he's new in WWE, and I understand that, you know, they're trying to. You know, AJ Styles is this young guy. He's a rookie in the WWE or whatever the fuck, you know, besides the fact that I have his DVDs from 2005 and shit. Let's not think about that. You know, let's not think that I've been a fan of his for 10 years and that he's actually older than Cena by a year. Let's not think about that. You know, I get the story because I want to be invested in the story. Cena's older. He has ring rust because he just came back off an injury. And, you know, the story is that AJ is supposedly much better than Cena. And they played it off well, you know what I mean? But the only thing is, with that, with judging that was the story they were going for, that was the psychology they were going for, that's what they wanted you to think, Cena was still fucking miscuing a bunch of shit. Like, Cena was supposed to throw AJ over the top rope, and AJ kind of landed right on the rope. Like, I guess Cena didn't get enough extension on the toss, or maybe he just expected AJ to do all the work for him or something. I don't fucking know. But it looked bad. And then, you could hear Cena throughout the entire fucking match. Throughout the entire fucking match, you could hear Cena. He was just talking the whole fucking match. Okay, let's just redo the spot. Okay, kick me. Okay, clothesline. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to get into this match. I don't need to hear you call the match while it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear that. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good match. I'd give it 4 stars. I would have gotten much higher, but the club came in and interfered while the ref magically fell down, because it didn't even look like a kick. It looked like the fucking AJ's wind from throwing a kick to the air. The wind somehow pushed the referee down. It grazed him. The kick barely touched him, and the ref goes down for 10 minutes. Which, again, like, I fucking hate shenanigans. I don't like shenanigans. I don't like that shit. You've seen my fucking rating of Dominion earlier, which, you know, this isn't just something that I rate WWE on. I rate it on NJPW as well. The match with Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin was great. Could be a 5-star. But they fucking threw in shenanigans. So I have to bring it down to like a 4.5 or a 4.75 at least. You know what I mean? Because, well, at most, I don't know. I'm just rambling anyway. But yeah, like, I don't like shenanigans. I don't care what federation it is. I don't fucking like shenanigans. And when you add the fact that this had a bunch of shenanigans and all the other stuff I mentioned earlier, I have to bring it down. I have to bring it down to like a 4, at most a 4.5. And when the club hit their finisher, Magic Killer, I was like, perfect fucking name for a move, because they killed all the magic of the match. You know, as the match got towards the end, it was getting really good. The build was finally paying off, and the story was finally coming to a close, and it was getting really good. AJ kicked out of an AA, I marked. You know, Cena kicked out of a Styles Clash, I marked. They did a great job. AJ did this sick 450, the one he usually does off of a springboard, and Cena countered it, and it looked like AJ's fucking head hit the mat, ugly as hell. It looked awesome. But then the Magic Killer hits, and it's like, oh, well, congratulations, you killed all the magic of the match. Well done. It's 4 stars. maybe 4.25. Dean Ambrose won the Money in the Bank ladder match in about 21 minutes. I gotta give that about a 4.5, 4.25. The NBA was really getting close to its finish here, so I wasn't as invested as I should have been in the ladder match. Props to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens because they tried to out Canada Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin. That's all today is. I decree this day, the great day of Canadians hurting themselves with ladders, because that's what today was. Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin, two Canadians, hurt themselves with ladders in Japan, and then here in the States we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn hurt themselves with ladders, and they're both also Canadian. So they tried to outdo each other. That's what it looked like to me when I was seeing what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn did today. That Michinoku driver on the open ladder. Fuck, that's the spot of the night. So congrats, Kevin Owens. You took the craziest spot. You win craziest Canadian for today. Great spot. But the match itself wasn't as good as Michael Elgin versus Kenny Omega. And you can make the argument that when Kenny Omega went through the two tables and the two tables didn't break and he just kind of bounced off them, that was the worst looking spot. So, either one, pick. It's whatever. But yeah, those four Canadians put on a hell of a show. As a wrestling fan, I'm thankful. Good showing. If I had to rate the ladder match, Dean Ambrose won, by the way. I'd give it about a 4.25, maybe a 4.5. Rusev defeated Titus O'Neil by submission. Fucking why? Fucking why? What fucking good does that do? Okay, you build up Rusev as a US championship. Who fucking cares? Why was this so late in the card? I feels like that match was just there so that we can finish watching the NBA, which was cool. I appreciate it because I didn't fucking pay attention to Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. Didn't fucking care. I was watching the NBA. I can't rate it because I wasn't watching it. I was watching the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. So yeah, that match happened and Rusev won. Okay. I guess they'll let Tyson win in a card where we're actually paying attention. Then Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns. This was actually the match of the night, in my opinion. Fantastic. I was expecting Cena and AJ to be the match of the night, but Rollins proved why he is also in contention for best in the world and why you have to mention him in a top 10 discussion. Amazing match. You have to mention Roman too. I know everybody's hates Roman Reigns and this, that, and the other, but he's had great matches this year. I could understand if he's putting on shit matches, but he's had great matches. He didn't match up well with Triple H. I agree with that. But he matched up well with Seth. He matched up well with AJ twice. He matched up well with Bray Wyatt. He matched up well with Daniel Bryan. He's had great matches. I think the hate is just everybody following. I would understand, maybe a year ago when he wasn't having great matches, but he's having great matches now. You can't hate the guy. I think he's paid his dues. Amazing match. I want to give it about a 4.5, maybe even a 4.75 if I'm being generous. Seth Rollins wins after two pedigrees. I think he countered a spear into a pedigree. Looked phenomenal. Great payoff to their story. And then we had Dean Ambrose cash in his Money in the Bank contract with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Dean Ambrose pinned Seth Rollins. That's right, a CCW guy, one of those hardcore wrestlers that bled fucking buckets in the indies, is now your WWE champion. I don't know how I feel about that. The fans are really happy about it. Personally, me being one of the guys that's a purist and enjoys the storytelling and the psychology of it all and what they're trying to get you to think, I think giving the belt to somebody who just bleeds a lot is kind of I don't know, I don't necessarily like it, but I understand that many do like Dean Ambrose and many have felt that he's paid his dues in the WWE and that he's had great matches in the WWE. I think he's had very good matches. I don't think he's had great matches, but hey, you can't make everybody happy all the time. So good for Dean Ambrose. I would have much rather have been Seth. But, Dean Ambrose has paid his dues and they get to do the whole Shield thing because three of them used to be friends. So you got that story going. Of course, that's not a story that's in the ring. I prefer the stories in the ring. But, hey, to each their own, Good enough match. Good enough pay-per-view. Not as good as they said it was going to be. And now I gotta go watch Game of Thrones. Peace.